Scrolling really is the end of humanity. It's the end of real human life, real human connection. Although people do look at it as a negative, and it's a very common negative, and people think, oh, well, I could use my time better. I could not do this. I'd be better off without it. I think we deeply underestimate how much it negatively impacts our lives. Brought you guys out into the wilderness. Such a beautiful park where I'm at right now. It's very naturey. There's a bunch of crap on the table and whatnot, but it's a part of the lifestyle. Have you ever noticed how life feels more dull? Have you ever noticed that when you get together with people, especially when you get together with people like family parties or just fun like friend parties or get-togethers, not parties like drinking parties, but like just gatherings, that it feels more dull? Because I've certainly noticed that, and I've talked to a bunch of people that also notice that. And it's an extremely common thing to experience now. It's just like this dullness, especially when you interact with other people. Unfortunately, that does stem from scrolling. I know that it sounds kind of silly to think that a very relatively simple activity, a passive activity where you're not really doing anything besides just consuming content, would affect all these areas of your life, but it really does. The first biggest problem, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, is that we think it's just a waste of time. A lot of people view scrolling as, oh, well, I'm not being very productive in my day. Oh, I could have used my time more wise. And all of that is extremely true. You do waste a lot of time, and you certainly could have used the time better. But that's a surface level issue. You can always just rearrange your day. That's not the issue. It literally changes our brain on a physical level. It's not an exaggeration. It literally changes our brain. It changes how we think. It changes how we perceive the world. And there's two major dangerous side effects of that. One of the biggest side effects is that it makes us think that there's nothing else to do. It's probably the most common excuse that I've heard when it comes to scrolling, is that it makes your brain think, of course I'm scrolling. What else is there to do? What do you want me to just sit around and meditate? Do you want me to just stare at the wall? This is extremely dangerous. To truly think that there's nothing else to do besides just do a planned activity and that's it. Like you only do your big planned events and then nothing else in life matters. It's just not like there's no point in doing anything else. It kills that will to think, all right, what can I do? What do I want to do? Like really, what do I want to do? Not just giving up as soon as you don't have a big event to go to. And that brings me to my truly most important point I want to make in this video, is that the biggest effect that happens when you scroll, when you have your brain change as a result of that, is that you just wait around for events. You wait around for, okay, well, I planned this with my friends a week in advance, or, oh, we're going here, we're going to some concert, we had to book it way in advance. What happens to all the spontaneous things? What happens to all the random adventures? What happens to just being bored and accepting that you're bored and just feeling that? What happens to just looking out the window and just wondering? What happens to just like randomly just thinking about something? The main point I'm trying to convey is that it is not life. That's why I said it's the end of humanity. Not that it like literally just wipes us off the planet and kills us. But human life is no longer human life if you participate in this. Human life is not waiting for events to happen. It's not just waiting for, oh, but the concert. But all the time in between that, you're scrolling. People do it in like movies. They'll watch a movie. They see their best scene, and when it's a boring scene, a quote-unquote boring scene, they scroll. It's like, what are we doing here? This is not life. Life is not just waiting for the best, highest, most stimulating moments. That is no longer life. That is a fact. That is not human life anymore. And what is it as a result? dullness because you get no downtime. You get no wonder. Your brain's always on and always stimulated. You don't connect with people because you don't have that spontaneous adventure. You don't really connect with anybody. You're just texting, snapping, well, like whatever we want to do. There's a special place for boredom in life. It's an extremely important thing. You got to learn that it's not a negative thing. A lot of us, how many of us wish for more downtime, wish for more time that we didn't have to do anything? Yet when we get that time, we fill it with a phone in our face. I'll say it again. So many issues stem from this because you're not really living real life. People are anxious, tired, indecisive. They can't make a decision. They're always seeing everybody else's life and how they do things and their day in a life, and they're not living their own. We can't expect life to feel magical again like when we were a kid when we do this. It's just not possible. If you guys are interested in becoming your healthiest, strongest physical self and gaining your mental clarity, I do one-on-one coaching for that. If you're interested, that's really all I got for this talk today. I'll see you guys on the next one.